Business News. My name is Carla, and the topic for today is the political globalization. I will talk about a little bit to go to the point. Under globalizations, politicals can take about the state through political integration schemes such as the European Union and organizations like International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the World Trade Organizations. This activity can also transcend the borders, like through the global movements and NGOs. The organizations are allies with the organization from another country using the global communication system that they have and lobbying international organizations and other actors directly instead of working in their national governments. Now we go to the situation in the States. Traditional politicals has been undertaken without any political system. Their national governments has been lately responsible for maintaining the security and the economic welfare of their citizens, as well as the protection of the human rights and the environment without their borders. Without the global economical changes, ecological, it's been more integrated like the global economy and the other global trends. Political activity increased these last years. So we need to resolve this problem so we need political, we're willing to confront the cheaters. One of their biggest problem is that with trading partners to multiply our currencies to gain unfair prices and at advantage with increase their exportations and decrease the importations. This is legal to the World Trade Organization. The rules that it sounds legal because some kind of taxes that is for is quite of cheating. Now we go to my partner Isabel to talk about a little bit this problem.
Hi, good morning, Ms. Lopez. To start with this issue of the political globalization, what is the globalization? The globalization is a process of the integration among the people, companies, and government of the different nations. A process driven by international trade and investment and aided by information technology. This process has effects on the environment, on culture, on political system, on economic development and prosperity, on a human physical well-being in societies around the world. What is the political globalization? The political globalization is when governmental actions take place on a global level, where responsibilities such as the welfare of citizens or economic growth are acted upon by international political body. And under globalization, politics can take place at both the states through political integration schemes such as the European Union and to intergovernmental organizations such as the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the World Trade Organization. Political activities can also transcend nations' borders through global movements and NGOs. The NGOs is the non-governmental organization. Other issues with political globalization could address include education and poverty, crime, environment, and ideologies of the different cultures. And the United Nations is the exam of the NGOs with 105 member states. Two delegates can some countries agree on some rules and police and eliminate cases can also animosity. Thank you for me giving this time for talking about the subject is the Very important.
Thank you, Isabel. Now we go with Carolina. We're talking about the pros and cons of the globalization.
Now, I'm going to talk about pros and cons of political globalization. Some pros is that countries have access to international aid and financial support. Imagine, for example, if there's a natural disaster in Hawaii, we can send help from here, and they can get help from anywhere around the world. Also, it contributes to world peace because it reduces the risk of invasions, and there are more checks on big powers, and nationalism is definitely reduced because everyone is it's accepting and being and acting freely all around the world, um, interacting freely. Also, international organizations are often committed to spread values and like freedom, like I told you before, and to fight abuses within countries. For example, if China does not agree with something that India is doing, they're gonna say, hey, they're not doing well. They have slaves, for example. Let's fight for that, and everyone fights for just one specific problem. Also, smaller countries can work together and gain more influence internationally, and well, governments, of course, can learn from each other. We can see what USA is doing wrong or doing okay, and we can apply that in our country. Now, some bad things about political globalization is that the state sovereignty is reduced definitely. The functioning of international and supranational organization is often not that democratic as it should be. And also, big countries can shape decisions in multinational organizations. For example, if Trump does something, we all know that it will affect a lot of companies and organizations all around the world. Also, sometimes countries can slow down the decision making process, and the coordination is very, very difficult and expensive because imagine having to gather people from all around the world to make just one tiny decision. Well, maybe not that tiny, but just to make one decision. I mean, it's very, very hard. It's hard for us to agree in a time to make a party. Imagine having to gather people from all around the world to make some important decisions. I mean, it's very, very hard. And well, thank you everyone.
Okay, thank you guys. That's all for today. We see you tomorrow. Bye.